Hello, everyone. This is Nicholas Ellis talking tonight. I'm just here to talk about some of the Asperger symptoms and what you can do to help yourself. And as you know, a lot of people with Asperger's have difficulty with social situations, difficulty being around people and stuff. And for an example, I do like being around people to an extent, but I I have my days where things could be better. When I was really young, I was quite awkward, and I would walk on my tippy toes and stuff, and not like that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I mean, some other symptoms you go are. I also have hand and eye coordination problems too. That's something I've kind of had my whole life, and it it affects me in certain ways. Not everyone with Asperger's or autism spectrum will have this, so you could be one of those that don't have this symptom. But I mean, it's one of those things where you want to be careful because um, and sometimes it's hard to identify people who have Asperger's too. Um, uh, it's really hard to diagnose. I got diagnosed in December of 1994, so yeah, it's not easy to get diagnosed with Asperger's. And actually, back then they called it pervasive developmental disorder, and that is one of those things where it's hard with the social situations. I run many Asperger's support groups. I've done that for about a year now. I mean, it really just depends on the person, what you want and stuff. But I mean, I think I think I function pretty good every day and stuff. Most of the time, I just it's actually kind of quite funny. I actually spend quite a lot of time by myself. I'm into nature photography, and I'm into making YouTube videos like nature stuff to really help relieve anxiety. Um, I'm one of those that suffers from anxiety. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, but it's one of those things where you just kind of learn. You got to learn how to deal with it. Sometimes it's a lot easier said than done than dealing with it because it's not that easy. But I mean, if you try to keep a goal in mind and just try to stay positive, things go pretty good. Um, uh, as far as when it came to my siblings and stuff, we got along pretty well. It My younger years were kind of hard for me, and um, right now everything's going pretty good. I currently have a new job, and that's good. And interviewing skills can be hard too, with people with Asperger's and autism spectrum. Well, even neurotypical people, an interview can be hard for them. But when you're trying to find a job, I would recommend that you apply for something that you really like. I mean, if you like working with customers, you can apply at like a grocery store or retail store like where I work, or you can, if you like repetitive work, like working in a factory, you can apply there too. Most people with Asperger's are good with repetition, like me, and I'm actually very good with repetition. It's actually one of my strengths. Um, uh, some of my weaknesses would be sometimes I'm a little bit slower than others at work, but you got to keep in mind, just try to stay at a steady pace when you're at work, and it will be good. Um, uh, I do kind of come off as socially awkward at work a little bit. People will say that I got kind of a stare. Um, you're not really staring, I would say. You're kind of just off in your own little world, I call it. I don't know what other people call it, but that's just kind of how I am. Um, as far as medications go for anxiety and stuff, I do not recommend medications to anyone because I'm not qualified. I'm not a doctor, so you would have to talk to your doctor about that if you have anxiety and stress. So um, that's one thing I will not recommend. Now, when it comes to dating and stuff for people with Asperger's, I would try Asperger's dating site. I would try um, online dating. It works for some people. It doesn't work. I mean, I met my wife online. It worked out fine. She don't have Asperger's. She's neurotypical like me. Um, and I'll just give you a disclaimer right now. I do not offer dating advice. I am not qualified to do that, but it's just one of those things. I will not offer dating advice, and I, it's just, I mean, I'm here to help other people out. I mean, that's why I'm doing these videos. I mean, I really want to help you people out, and I mean, if you have any questions, I think there's a link below where my email is. Just email me, or just email me. Um, uh, just email me questions. One of these days, maybe I'll do a live video, and we can do some questions together. Like, you could ask me, what are some of your strengths and weaknesses? Well, some of my strengths would be I'm really good with numbers. I'm good with um, remembering timelines and history and stuff. Um, just for an example, I got all the numbers memorized in my phone. I don't. I manually dial all my numbers still, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's a good thing. Doesn't make me any better or any worse. It's just one of those talents that I got. Also, you may be good at singing. You may be good at playing the guitar or playing the piano, or everybody. Everybody's different. I mean, there's some people with Asperger's that are good at computer programming. Um, I kind of can do that to an extent. I can fix my laptop a bit. I've got the common knowledge of working with computers, but I don't have the knowledge like some people think I do. I can't fix a laptop. I can't put a hard drive in a laptop. That's just not something I know how to do. I mean, it would be fun to learn how to do it, but it's like the thing is I wasn't very good with algebra in high school, and some of those computer programs like IT networking, you need to have be good in algebra and math. I'm good at math, but when it comes to like algebra and equations and stuff, I'm not good at it at all. Um, uh, I did take a pre-algebra class in high school. I did struggle with it. It's uh, it's one of those things that either you're really good at it or you're not good at it. I mean, some people with Asperger's are really good at it with algebra. I mean, some turn out to be engineers. I, I don't know. I just think, well, just what are your strengths? Well, my strengths are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, and look at your strengths. Look at your weaknesses. Um, I mean, don't even. I mean, when you look at yourself, ask yourself. You know, I have talents. I have good things about me. Don't focus on the negative things. Just focus on your talents. Like I'm good at singing. I'm good at numbers. I'm good at history. I mean, you could ask me any question about history, and I probably could answer it. Or I might have to do some research. I spend a lot of time reading historical stuff. That's pretty much what I do. Um, uh, Pretty much anything I read, um, I got a photographic memory, meaning I can memorize everything that I read. And sometimes I can go a little overboard doing that. I mean, that's just how I am. I mean, it's one of those things where you just got to try to find that happy medium. But then it's like, well, I don't know. And it seems like sometimes when I'm talking to people, I have a one-sided conversation. Meaning, let's just pick a topic. For an example, history, where you just constantly talk about history, 24/7, 7 days a week, or whatever. I'm exaggerating a little bit. 24/7, 7 days a week. Maybe you talk about baseball or football or American football. If you're overseas, it would be called football in some of the other countries. American football is different than soccer. There's quite a bit of a difference. Um, I don't know how many people follow American football, but that's just a general example of what people can go overboard with. I mean, statistics. I'm good with statistics and stuff, so um, it's just how I am. I'm kind of a numbers guy, meaning I like stuff with numbers, and I like doing stuff with numbers. I've had people ask me before, well, Nick, why don't you go into accounting? And I'm like, because there's so many steps. I mean, you gotta, when it comes to taxes, you gotta, I mean, there's so many different steps. Well, you claim this, you claim that on your tax forms and stuff. I can't remember all those steps. I mean, if I had the right person teaching me, and this is not against anyone who teaches. I have nothing against anyone who teaches. Uh, it all depends on who's teaching you. I mean, you could probably hire a tutor to get it done, or someone that helps you. But and we go to school for these things, and sometimes our interviewing skills aren't very good. So it's like me personally, I could probably go back to school and get like a bachelor's degree in something, like maybe like history or I don't know, science or biology or something. But it's like, can I get a job in that field? I mean, if I can't, an interview for like, let's say a biology job where a biologist isn't going to be like working at the local grocery store. In some places here in our country, in the United States, they will pretty much offer you the job after the interview if you do a great job during the interview. But if you're like let's say going to school for computer science or something, they're not going to offer you a job right there. They might, but it's highly unlikely. So I'm not sure how those interviews go. Um, I might do a series on the interviews to help you all out. I kind of just go on the interview calm, quiet, and you just got to sell yourself. Meaning, selling yourself is telling about all your great accomplishments and uh, what's your strengths as an employee. Like an example, I'm great with customer service. I worked in the produce department at a local grocery store for 8 years. Um, uh, or they'll ask you during an interview, what are some of your greatest accomplishments? And you could say your greatest accomplishment is helping the customer get the product that they find. I mean, helping the customer out in the grocery department, or just helping people out in general at the store. That's just an example. You try to go the extra mile in customer service. You can go the extra mile in any kind of job. Um, uh, that's a good thing. Um, uh, but let's backtrack a little bit. So, like, I was diagnosed with Asperger's in 1994. Some of the symptoms of Asperger's are I'm very clumsy and awkward. That's what something you'll learn about me. I'll talk about it a lot. Um, uh, Sorry about that. Sorry for the cough. Um, I'm very. I would say I would like stuff neat. It's just one of my routines. Um, I like stuff to be clean. That's kind of an OCD symptom, obsessive compulsive disorder. Um, it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It could be a good thing. I mean, yeah, or it can be a bad thing too. Doesn't make you a bad person. It just means we all got our strengths and weaknesses. I mean, like some of my, like sometimes I go overboard, like wiping the apartment down since COVID-19. I mean, I've been doing that a lot more, and the masks out in public. I know sometimes with the masks out in public, it can cause sensory overload. Um, uh, I could show an example of what I wear out in public. I wear like a regular face shield. Maybe I'll do that towards the end. Um, uh, they work just as good. I mean, it's easier breathing, and it all depends on what the law is where you are too. Um, I mean, I mean, stuff like that can cause sensory overload. Like me, I'm sensitive to light. I get migraines really easy. Um, I'm not sure if that has anything to do with my Asperger's or autism or not, but the last 3 or 4 years, I've gotten migraines pretty bad, and it's like, well, what's going on? Let's try to take something out of my diet. I tried taking diet Coca-Cola out of my diet. That didn't work. So it's pretty much maybe it is a sensory issue. I mean, I can listen to loud music in my car and it don't bother me. But I mean, me personally, I wouldn't recommend somebody listening to loud music in a vehicle because it can be distracting. And when it comes to cell phone usage in a car, I would say stay off your cell phone. Don't text and drive. It's not the greatest. It's actually illegal here in the state of Wisconsin where I live to text and drive. Um, I mean, in general, for everybody, I mean, it's a distraction. I mean, but I find myself more distracted because I also have attention deficit disorder, which is kind of goes in common with people on the spectrum, but it doesn't always. Just because you got autism spectrum doesn't mean you have ADHD or attention deficit disorder. Everybody's different. I mean, no two people with Asperger's are alike. I mean, you could be, but we all have our talents. I mean, some are good at nature photography. Some are good at some are actually good at socializing. I'm good at socializing. I'm kind of a what they call a social butterfly. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing either. It's a good thing, but I mean, you just kind of gotta watch yourself so you don't go overboard, like with texting and calling and stuff. I'm, I have to admit, I'm not perfect. Far from it. I go overboard with texting. I will go overboard with calling. It's just how I am. I've kind of always been like that. But I'm learning. It's like I don't want to lose any friends anymore. Good friends and stuff. I mean, I've lost a few good friends due to me over texting and over calling. I mean, it's pretty nuts normal for somebody with Asperger's, but uh, I would I just gotta remind myself, don't text this person. For example, let's just say I overtext my dad, and I just want to call him constantly. I don't need to call my dad constantly. I mean, I'm married. I got a wife. But I do like talking to my dad. I talk to my cousin quite a bit. He's from actually he's from my mom's side of the family. Him and I talk a couple times a week. It seems like when it comes to socialization, him and I get along pretty well, which is good. It seems like really the only real friends I got is in my family, and I mean real friends, friends in person. But I mean, even online friends are really good friends too. So I mean, online friends are awesome, and if you want to meet an online friend in person, I, there's nothing against that. I have nothing against that all at all. I mean, I would suggest meeting out in public. That's the safest way if you're going to meet people that you met online. As you might hear people, I'm kind of flicking at my ring. That's kind of my stim object. I shouldn't be using my wedding ring for sorry about the coughing. I shouldn't be using my wedding ring for flicking like that or as a stim toy. When it comes to stimming, that's kind of what I do. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you want to flick your ring, that's fine. But I mean, but if you lose your ring, then it's kind of hard to find, and you're yeah, and this is a $1,200 ring, so yeah, I don't really want to lose that somewhere. But getting back on topic, try to let's make some goals. Well, my strength is let's make a goal for this week. I'm going to accomplish working on my memorization of a certain topic. I can literally memorize speeches that people give. I mean, I was in a class in high school that was public speaking, and they tried talking me into getting into debate and persuasion. However, my senior year, they did not offer the class because they didn't have enough people sign up for it. I mean, you may be good at talking, you may be good at giving speeches, you may be good at singing. I mean, I've done a couple solos in front of a crowd, and it's like, well, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, not everybody wants to do it, and I totally understand why. I mean, some people like to be around other people, some people don't. I like being around people. It's just my brain chemistry. I I need that social contact, but also I need that time alone to recharge and calm down and stuff too. I mean, it's just all of us are wired. I mean, it doesn't make you a bad person. You're all very nice people. We're all great people. Um, and it's one of those things where everyone, I mean, even neurotypicals need time alone. It's just, we all need to decompress, meaning we need space. And I know sometimes us people with Asperger's are not very good with space and stuff. I mean, like for an example, let's just say you need some space from your mom and dad. Let's say you're kind of going overboard, talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Give them that space. Give them that time to be alone. I mean, give your friends that time to be alone so we can socially recharge. I mean, like I said, I'm not perfect. Um, uh, I lack a lot of social skills. I take a lot of jokes very literally. So yeah, if you tell me a joke, I might take it very literally. And there was also an example when I worked at a local grocery store here in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and I was kind of serious about getting a literal lemon tree, and the uh, the manager in the floral department at that store said, she's like, "Well, I can get it in for you, or get the lemon tree in for you." And I'm like thinking to myself, I was just joking with you. I should have just said that. I'm joking. I mean, but sometimes people can take me literally too. Where I mean, I don't have that smile. I just got that serious look on me. Like, yeah, it's just who I am. I mean, it's like you could tell me your cousin is outside, Nick, waiting for you guys, and I'd probably believe it. That's just an example. It's not always set in stone, meaning like somebody could say your car is rolling away, Nick. Well, common sense would say your car probably ain't rolling away unless you left it in neutral or something. But I mean, somebody could take that literally. I mean, I could take that literally. But you just gotta remember, keep try to stay calm. Do the deep breathing like I talked about it in the previous videos. If anyone has any questions, like I said, you could feel free to contact me. Um, I do have my email linked. I think it says it's for business purposes only, but I'm not running a business. You can email me um, with questions. Maybe we can do a question and answer thing live sometime. Um, this is actually my third or fourth video doing it in person like this. The video quality isn't the greatest, but as you know, I'm here. I mean, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think I'm going to look into some better technology. My iPhone, yeah, it works pretty good for that. I'm trying to find some better technology, but right now you can't really afford it. But even with this video right now, it's pretty cool. If you want to like and subscribe to my videos, I would appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, and have a great evening. Have a great day wherever you are. Good. Have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.